Cam Newton is under fire for interviewing Royce Reed, baby mother of Dwight Howard. You want the details? Stay tuned. I got them for you coming up. All right, all right. Some of this you may not want to know. All right, we're gonna get into it right away. The interview with Royce Reed, I would say, is a lot. All right, so if you're not ready for a roller coaster, if you're not ready to be shocked, I'll tell you to maybe check out another one of my videos because this one right here is a hot one. Let's hear what Royce Reed had to discuss with Mr. Cam Newton. Was his opinions, his judgment in taking this show the right idea? I want to hear from you. Make sure you guys comment. Let's hear what Royce has to talk about.
Comes and he closes the door and he walks me over to the bed and I step backwards because now I'm by my chest because I don't feel like doing this. And I'm not like, oh, like this. I'm just walking back like I just said, no. And he's like, man, come on. You know what I'm talking about? Come on. You can do something. And I'm like, no. And he's pushing you down on your head. And at first you think he's playing and you like, well, not, you don't, you know, he's not playing, but you try and push him off of you and be like, man, stop. So you can just walk away. And he don't let you stop. You push him and he pulls you and you try and push him again and he throws you on the ground. And now you're like in front of your dresser and you're crying. And now because you're crying, you can't actually give head now because you're crying. You're too emotional. So you just slam your waist into my face. That's what you do? Over and over and over again? For what? Because you that pissed off that I can't give you head for real? And then you just walk out, pick our son up, leave the house. But I'm lying. I'm lying, y'all.
First off, I apologize for evoking that emotion again. And even with that, I think it's important that these type of situations and actions are serious. No matter how small somebody may act or say it is, or how big it is, this is a real deal action. So I apologize.
That's why they had me sign that injunction.
Yeah. It's so much that,
you know, look,
I don't
be honest, y'all. I am not 100% sure Cam Newton was ready for this interview and everything that was revealed during this interview. You may be a little shocked about what you just heard, but I'll tell you, this is only just the beginning. There's more details that are going to come through this interview. And this is part one. It's so much. We're going to talk about this particular segment, which is going to be called The Dark Side of Dwight Howard. And then we'll also talk about another side where she says that she's being silenced by Dwight Howard. I want to know, your thoughts after all of this. Does he have a right to maybe try to silence her, keep some of this quiet legally? Is he at fault? Is this malicious, conversation that she's having? She's definitely on the attack. She'll talk a little bit about it right now. Am I wrong? Am I reading this wrong? I want to hear from you. All right. So let's jump right back on in. You want to stay tuned to this entire show.
Yeah, he wanted to just come to him because clearly Braylon's not playing.
I see.
He's just at the game as a participant. Yeah. Like, not a participant, like as a fan.
Yeah. I see.
So there's no reason for you to come in.
I understand what you're saying, but now that's where I can kind of empathize, knowing that he ain't no regular dude. So
Your son is asking you to just stay up there because you're coming to see
Yes.
him.
yes,
So why not just stay up there and be like, hey, mom, or say, hey, I'm going to take him to Andretti's or I
Okay, I
want to do
heard this
this or
part of the
ask me
interview.
something.
yeah. But I'm not trying to sound like I'm not
Mhm.
agreeing with the circumstance here. I'm saying not even knowing the real story
Mhm.
in Atlanta or anywhere,
Mhm.
being that
Right. This one they're talking a little bit about the parenting time, discrepancies and things of that issue right here. Let's slide ahead to another hot part that if you're like me, you may be a bit shocked.
Emasculating it can be to a man when his wife makes more. And I'm not saying that's everybody, but in most cases, I've seen that man's masculinity almost diminish because he feels like he's not taking care of home.
cool. Last question on this. Did you ever feel uncomfortable with your son being alone with his dad?
Yeah, especially when he was younger.
And did you do anything?
Yeah, that was when the nanny was molesting him.
What?
Yeah. Yep. It's in the court papers and everything. I got messages. I posted receipts. Yep. And I even posted a video of my son even talking about her and how he didn't like her. He's a little baby. Yep. But even in the email, he liked her. He trusted her. And I had been complaining about her for like years. And then the judge told me if I ever made a claim like that again, that he would absolutely give Dwight 100% custody and that I need to shut my mouth, that I was a gold digger. It's all in the docket.
Wow. Well, if you're like me, you may be a bit shocked by that revelation. These are strong claims against Dwight Howard. Relationships with his children. This is not good, and I think that this is actually going to be the start of maybe more legal issues that are to come. In this next segment, Royce is going to talk a little bit more about how he has tried to silence her. So, what's your thoughts? Does this seem like a genuine interview? All right, that Royce just wants to, talk more about herself, brand herself. Is this more of a dirt throwing kind of initiative as well? It's ugly. I know that much.
I did the first video. I said all I wanted him to do was leave me alone. He wouldn't leave me alone. He kept me in court, taking everything from me as I tried to better myself, as I tried to pull myself out of this stuff after I've been forced to stay in Florida by that agreement. I built a company, a successful company. I wrote a book. Yes, I did a show. But guess where all that money went? Into litigation because he hated seeing me come up. So when you ask, why am I doing this? Because I have tried so fucking hard to live. And you keep doing this shit behind closed doors, like that throw the rock, hide your hand. He's sitting there beating us up and then smiling. I don't know why they're doing this. I'm not entertaining it. After this, still committed. Get the fuck. Don't nobody care about that. At all. I think she's 100% his type. 100%. But this ain't about that. This is about how you treat people and how you destroy them in court and try to hush them and silence them while you out here portraying Dancing with the Stars. What? Hell no, not anymore. Absolutely not. I'm reclaiming my time.
Is it safe to say that you're angry?
I am passionate.
Now that's a good question there, Cam. Because it definitely, I would think so. I definitely think it's a bit of lashing out. I think it can be possibly a bit manipulation. Is she playing the victim? I'm sure, some of these things, may be true. But at this time, years later, it's been a run of the mill here since these legal proceedings that she's coming forward with all of this dirt on Dwight Howard, especially at the time after he has found him a new wife. So could be a lot of pressure for a new relationship. So hopefully he's faring well with that. But it's ironic that the timing of this is happening surrounding that. Let's hear more about what Royce Reed has to say.
I'm past anger. I'm passionate now. I was angry when I was sitting there still trying to deal with his ass privately. After, yes, quarantine, when people ask, oh, why do you keep going back? It ain't no keep going back. It was 2009 and then 2020. Yes, I thought that he changed because of how he was acting after Mimi passed. All of us thought he changed. He put on this whole front and was like, it's about the kids, God has come to me. Y'all, he put it on thick. And at first I had said no, but when Mimi passed.
Ladies, can a man be that convincing? If he was that bad 11 years, 10 years prior to you, can he be that convincing for you to commit to him again, right? That everything has changed, that he no longer operates in that way? I mean, it sounds a bit sticky, but maybe you can tell me. Maybe you can tell.
And he started calling and I don't know what to do. That's not crying.
Who is Mimi?
Melissa. She was the 5th baby mother.
Okay.
Yes. But he's not crying and all this on the phone. And you start to feel bad. And like, well, damn, the world is really about to shut down. I have a whole boyfriend, but he done got me worried. But my boyfriend, he's like, well, I can't come there. He's like, if you really do feel like that, I'm against it. But if you feel like you just really need to go somewhere, then go. So I went. He told me to leave the second day after he told me that, after I told him about the story he told us about LeBron. He was like, you need to leave now. Why? He's like, because he's going to try and manipulate him or manipulate all of y'all. And I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, for him to tell you a story like that, he's like, Royce, why? Why did you need to know that?
Who? No, I'm sorry, I'm not following.
This is the exact point right here where I said Cam was not ready for this interview. Who he was sitting with. And this is not the first time Cam sat with somebody that was running circles around him, because she's teeing things up that he was not ready for. And he's trying to catch up. This is another example of that right here.
It was a subtle LeBron thrown in there.
He said that LeBron was not really crying or sad about Kobe passing. He said on the plane he had no emotion. And he was just like chilling. Like everybody on the plane is upset and LeBron was just straight face. He's like, the only time he got emotion was when he walked off the plane. And I think he walked off last and he got in a car and was like this. There's a video. He was like, that's the only time he had emotion. Okay. So when I told my boyfriend that story, he said, you need to leave. He's like, why would you need to know that? Why would he tell you that? And I was like, well, why would he lie about something like that? That's crazy.
All right. For those of you who have followed Royce Reed much longer than I have, enlighten me a little bit about Royce Reed. Is this an attempt for her to gain a little bit more fame? so she can fully be that celebrity that she wants. You know, she talks about building her business in her book. A lot of that, from my understanding, came after Basketball Wives, right? So I'm not really sure where her career stands. However, I want to know from you, is she playing the victim? Is she making her rounds on podcasts and anywhere she can just to throw a little dirt on Dwight Howard? Should Cam Newton have taken this particular interview with Royce Reed at that time? Should he have kept it 100 with Dwight Howard? I want to hear from you. Make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you for tuning in. Until the next time, family. Peace.